Hello and welcome back to the farm. It is still September. We are working away. The fast track, I've got the parts to, and I've just been fiddling around at the back and getting everything sorted and making sure everything's working. So we jump in and we're going to be hooking up to the baler today. We've got all of that hay that we rode up recently. That needs all baling up, ready to get back to the farm here. And we are going to be using our New Holland D800 baler. I've gone against the idea of getting a round baler to work with on here as well. We need to conserve the money at the moment. We're not doing badly, but at the same time, we're not doing amazingly either. I'd like to, well, it's one of those things where we'll be doing amazingly once the harvest's all done and in this year. Everything else is doing well around the farm. You can see we're producing some eggs from our chickens. The cows are doing well. The cows are doing okay. I'm looking forward to getting some manure going in there. We've recently harvested some of the stuff from our greenhouses. You can see a couple of empty trays, but otherwise things are all good there. So yeah, we've got to get everything baled up, and once we've got everything baled up around here, we're going to be going and doing and collecting them all up. Important thing today is to get one field done over the other. Elizabeth has free time to come and do some harvesting with us in the next couple of days, and so we're looking to get the field up the top here done, and once we get that done, we're going to need to bale that up, but we need to be able to get her into the field with the combine first. And if we've got all of this hay on the ground, it's going to damage the hay, so I want to try and avoid doing that. So we're going to get this all baled up, and probably have to get the tractor down here, or sorry, the telehandler down here, and at least get the ones at this, whatever we end up putting down at this end of the field, getting that all moved out the way so we can get the combine onto here and we can cart onto here. So let's jump back in and get ourselves up to this starting point here, which should be pretty good. There we are. And now I need to unfold this. Undo that and bring it back. There we go. All right, that's that done. Let's get this all started up. So looking good. Oh, we've got the tiniest bit of straw in this, I think. Let me go and have a look. Yeah, we'll see if we can. Yeah, we've got a tiny bit of straw in this. I'll see if I can get that out first. Otherwise, we're yeah, that's going to contaminate my first bale. There we go. That's all emptied out, nice and clear. Start it up, drop it down, and we should get some pure hay bales out of this now, which is great news. Plenty of fuel in the tractor, and all going good. I'm pleased with this. This baler is doing as well on the farm. Yes, it's producing smaller bales that are a little bit more awkward in general to deal with, but otherwise we should be good. I need to double check the state of my bale trailer. Did I pick one up? Actually, we'll do a check that quickly. Oh, I think I picked one up. If I haven't, then I need to go and pick one up. Yeah, we got the flatbed over there. Yeah, we got a that's a master that matches my grain carting trailer. So that's all good, and that will keep things going nicely. And it's quite useful being this close. I want to jump at this point because that's some fairly difficult barbed wire there. Oh, there we go. Right. Let's get it going. And yeah, we'll see how many hay bales we get off this field, because this should be pretty good. Somebody was asking me before, in fact last time I used this baler, they asked me in the comments of the video, why does this baler take water? And and I think they must be referring to this tank that we've got on the top of the baler. And you know, as to exactly what that function is on that. Now, my understanding is the farmer who had this before us used to use this to make silage bales. And that top tank there, you can either fill that with molasses or some other type of silage additive. And yeah, you wrap the bales, and it helps with the silage. We've no plans to use that on here. We've got the silage bunkers here. We want to fill the BGA ideally to make our money from that, and then we can skim off the top of that and get the silage we need for the cows we have at the farm. But yeah, that's basically, because this is a second-hand baler. It's that's what the function of that is. Even if it's one that we're not going to use. I don't know if I can get it removed. I don't know whether it's worth the time and effort to get it removed. If it causes us a problem at some point, I might. But in general, it doesn't seem to really affect the way the workings of the baler, and it seems to just work fairly well. I do like this. One thing I do like this baler, it beeps at me every time it gets near to producing a bale, which is pretty good. Allows me to know when a bale is going to drop. If I'm about to reverse and I can't see out of my wing mirrors where a bale has dropped, it gives me a very good indication whether I have a bale that has just dropped or is about to drop, which is really good. We've actually got a missing bit of hay here. See, at the moment, we know we've not got a bale that's about to drop, which is good. Might have after this bit. And of course, it's a completed bale doesn't necessarily mean a bale has dropped. All it means is that the beep tends to mean that a bale has just dropped, and therefore allows me to know that that is there. There we go. And it does it when it gets very close to a full bale. Yeah, it's about I think it's about 90% of a full bale is when it'll let me know that a bale has dropped, which is really useful. You know, makes a big difference as to not damaging the equipment, really. So oftentimes when I'm baling, I will apply the alternate row process of doing it. It means that we're not turning such sharp corners. Helps to protect the PTO between the tractor and the baler, and basically just means that we are being a little bit gentler on the equipment in general. Also means I can start at this side of the field where the entrance is and work my way across the field and then work my way back, which is quite useful. Also helps if we've got any bales at the end, we can take wider turns to go round and sort them out, which is again a useful thing to be able to do and allow us to plan this a bit better. A perfect example is here, where we've got a little bit restricted maneuverability, especially on that next row. We might have to haul that bale out the way, I think. But yeah, we can go round this bale we've got at the end of the field, and while our turn is fairly sharp, we are still good to go, and we can get round and get all of this hay fairly easily as a result. I'm kind of glad that we got the JCB back. It's It's got about 150 horsepower, and it's just about handling this baler on the slopier parts of this field. We're dropping to about 3 miles an hour, down from 9 on the flatter bits. Yeah, we would never have been able to do this job with the Massey. I think it would have struggled a little bit to do this. I'm very, very pleased with how well this tractor and this baler have worked together. It's good to find a square baler that is that does not have a stupidly large power requirement these days, and this New Holland fits the bill very, very nicely. Look at the state of this as well. This is a very good field of barley. I'm hoping our yield is going to be good. We're looking at 62,000 litres off this field, maybe, which would be good. That would be, well, I think that might include this end of the field as well. So half that. We may be looking at about 25,000 litres, which would be absolutely fantastic. We do have an issue in that because we've not properly scanned the field or anything like that. We may end up finding that it's lower than expected. But, you know, we get 20,000 litres off that field, I will be happy. That would be a good amount. Speaking of which, there had been some comments about the chickens going after my barley, having stored it in there. I do tend to, or I have got some chicken wire around it. I have got that area protected from the chickens. Don't worry, they're not gonna go and nick stuff out of the shed. Would make things easier, of course, if I was to get a grain store, and ultimately the plan is to get a grain store so that we can more easily store the crops off the farm. We're only this year, of course, we're only doing the spring barley because that's all we planted outside of this grass. But as this farm expands, as we look to buy more fields, we are going to be doing more crops. So I'm gonna need to get a silo with more than one more than one silo on it. If we're going to be doing multiple grain crops, and with that as well, we need to keep things separate. So there's probably still going to be some tipping on the ground. I think ultimately we may look to go into something of a 3-crop rotation on here. See what we can do from that point of view. Maybe that certainly I think that doing some. So doing the so either some wheat or some barley on here, probably some or both, maybe, and possibly some carrots. Carrots seem to be a crop that does fairly well around these parts, and I'm quite interested in looking into what goes into doing carrot harvesting. My biggest concern would probably be the actual harvesting itself, and seeing if I can get equipment that can do that easily enough on here. Seeing what other people have around here might be good as well. But yeah, getting like most root crops, carrots seem to be a fairly expensive thing to harvest. But we can get contractors to come in and do that. You know, there are plenty of contractors who have the big machines, and can come in and do that job. Probably charge us a fair amount of money for it, but at the same time will end up meaning we don't have to spend 300,000 to 400,000 on getting a new machine. Which would, which would not help our budget very much. And we're coming to the end of the final row. All good. Happy with that. Let's turn that off. That's a very good number of bales off here. I think we must have got about 40 bales off here, which is a cracking number. Really, really good. That should do us well. I'm going to leave everything folded down because we want to get into the next field and start getting that baled up as well. We need to start back near the farm. We've got, yeah, bale sitting on the back. Can I pull that off? No, that won't budge. They can be quite heavy, these bales. They're 1,000 litres shorter, or 1,200 litres shorter than your standard 4,000 litre bale, but they're still hefty. But that'll come off eventually. There we go. And there we are. Post that gate up. Not that we've got anything in that field, and we've got a big piece of broken wall here that means that we couldn't put anything in that field anyway. Oh, and that nice wet hole that we've got there. I think that's why that fell over. Basically, the water gathered all in that spot, undermined the wall, and as a result, it collapsed. Right, yeah, we've got a nice in bit here, which is basically going to be, this is going to be the in bit for our smaller field later on, because we are basically going across this corner. I don't know, I think I might get the mower out and mark where I want to go across, so that when I come in here with the when I come in here with the plow later, it'll be easier to check. There we go. On, down, and away we go. Perfect. And now we can just get this down and round and get this field baled up today, which will be perfect. That's going to place us in a really good place. We will just have the field, the barley field that is yet to be cut. That will be the last thing we need to bale today. Oh no, that will be the last thing we need to bale. Obviously we won't be doing that today because it's going to be a couple of days before it gets harvested. And we need to harvest it first. We can't just straight up bale it, of course. Yeah, once that's harvested, we can get that baled up, and then I'm going to spend some time with our JCB telehandler out and around these fields, and we'll get all these bales collected up and back to the farm. Having used this tractor on field now with this baler that isn't flat, so these last two fields, I can definitely see where the design idea was originally for this JCB. These were very much designed in their day as karting tractors, a little bit more than actual field tractors, and yeah, it is struggling on the hills a little bit. You can see that the speed is in the speed is the idea behind the fast track, and yeah, it does show a little bit. Having said that, it is doing this job pretty well. It's you know, it is still getting up these slopes. It is still pulling this this D800 baler and doing a cracking job getting these bales out. As I said before, I don't think a larger baler, well, a larger baler would require more horsepower anyway. So it's not really a thing that. We've got a little bit of. We're going to have to reverse up here anyway. It will be alright. I don't think there's a bale there. Just trying to look around the side of the baler. There we go. Oh, there was a bale there. We were lucky not to ride up on that. But yeah, just reversing up there a bit. And yeah, looks like that bale's intact. Good. But yeah, it's coming up to this corner and going around this corner a bit. The tractor does struggle a little bit, and yeah, going over that big hump you can see just up there a little bit further is a little bit more of a struggle. But it's, as I said, it is doing fairly well. You should see this now. Yeah, coming up here. Our speed is dropping as we go and come to the crest of the hill, and it really struggles to get up here a little bit. But it doesn't drop below 3 miles an hour, and after a little bit of a struggle, we reach the top, and our speed increases again. So yeah, nothing really awful. It's just a bit of a feeling. I think of these two fields, we're going to end up with far more bales than we're ever going to need for our cows. I think that we've had about our 100th bale just come off, just finished being pressed, which is a huge number. Okay, yes, these are smaller bales, but still, that is at 2,800. That's about 200,000 litres of straw that we've got off the of hay that we've got off these two fields. That is a very large amount, far more than we're going to need. We will probably look to sell some of these bales then as a result, because there are farms around here that do need hay. Cross fields, for example, do require quite a big amount of hay. They have a larger cow herd or dairy herd than we have here, and so may be interested in some of our straw, or some of our hay, sorry. They'll probably be interested in some of our straw as well. I think we're going to end up with more straw than we need as well. Which is all good, which is all utterly fantastic. My plan straw-wise anyway is we're gonna get. I think I found a little straw shredder that should allow us to do the job. We're gonna be getting that probably after harvest when the money comes in from that, and go from there. But that should allow us to, as I said before, create the manure that then keeps our greenhouses going. The beauty of our greenhouses, we can keep them going all year round. You might notice that I'm not doing the alternate rows set up on here. We've actually got enough space to turn around most of the time, so I can take my turn a little bit wider and come down the same row. As a result, I do mix and match it up a bit, as you can see. But this is all going swimmingly. We've got about half the field left. We've got a really good number of bales out of here, and can we? Well, and we've got the fuel to get to the end of the field, which is good. We're coming to the fiddly last bit of the field at the moment. And yeah, I think we're approaching 140-ish bales, which is a huge amount on here. I wasn't expecting that many off both these fields. It means this field here, we've probably got about 100 bales off, which is, yeah, a huge amount. Not at all really what I was expecting. Really good number, and definitely going to be able to sell some off. But only got a couple more lines to go to see where we are, really. Can we get another bale off here, I think? We might be fairly close. But yeah, I'm fairly happy. This has been a productive day. We've got all this baled up. This means that we can now start looking at getting this field scanned. Once we get the barley done, we'll be able to get into that and get all those fields done and dusted. Let's turn that off. Just going to get that to push the last couple of bales out the back. But yeah, I think we've got about 140 bales, just shy of 140 bales on here. I'll pull that out in a minute and get that done. Which has been a very productive day here on the farm. It's really, really good. We hopefully are going to have Elizabeth coming over and helping us out next time and getting that field of barley done. I should be here tomorrow or the day after, weather permitting, which is great. And then we've got to pick all these up once we've got that field baled as well. So yeah, gonna be a busy couple of days on the farm, but good, we're making progress. But that's where we're gonna leave today's vlog. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from the farm, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.